some of the stats. And Andrew Moeller, after celebrating his victory here, is going into the SK 5K. Of course, he's driving a Keith Rocco car. And Moeller goes into this event with 4 top 10 finishes in 8 starts this season. Moeller's competed in the last 2 Napa SK 5Ks with a 5th place finish in 2019 and a 12th place finish for an average of 8.5. So his earnings exceed in excess of $2,000 in 5K racing here at the Speedway. So that's one of the many stories that we're going to be put to the test in a few short moments. But what's going to be happening next as the crew members come out and prepare with what they commonly refer to as their war wagons for tonight's big dance, which is our Napa Auto Parts presentation of the 5K SK. The drivers themselves will be taking their annual class or group photo. That's what we'd like to call it. And in addition to that, they will also, once they're done with the traditional group photo, which is the commemorative photo of all the drivers competing each and every year in the Napa Auto Parts 5K SK event. Then the cars will be staged 2 by 2 on the front straightaway, and the drivers will stand next to the right front wheel. And then Matt Buckler and myself will present the starting lineup from the back to the front. Then once the cars move from the starting grid, that's where you come into play, you the race fans, on this great night of auto racing here at Stafford, as we do a tradition that actually originated here for the SK 5K, where it first appeared for this division here at Stafford. And I'm not going to say what it is or give it away, but you've seen it, and you will see it again. And joining us also on the starter's stand, Missy Blanchard, the sales manager of Napa of Connecticut, is going to give the official command. And waving the green flag, Lucien LaFay. And he is the son from the Napa Auto Parts store in Canton. Ladies and gentlemen, assembled before you, the SK Modified Division, as the drivers are getting out of their race cars in preparation for a tradition. You know, here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, the SK Modified Division began as an inspiration from the Speedway founding father. The SK Modified Division was Jack Arut's own dream. And from that dream, some of the most talented open-wheel modified drivers in the country set their course from this half-mile facility. That tradition still continues as these drivers will now be assembled in formation for the traditional group photo to commemorate tonight's Napa Auto Parts 5K SK. It's not just about the money, and there's a lot of money on the line. There's over $30,000 in posted awards, $5,000, and that's before you add the contingencies in, making this the SK Modified event of the season here at Stafford. But that's not the only story. The story is that the SK Modifieds, wherever you hear anyone talk about SK Racing, they will tell you one thing, that the SKs here at Stafford perform to perfection. And if you can win an SK event at Stafford, you can win in any open wheel division in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, as they're down there for their traditional group photo, let's give our drivers a rousing round of applause. Stomp your feet and make some noise. This is the entertainment you've come to see, the SK Modifieds from the Stafford Motor Speedway. And the Men of Steel, Gladiators, about to go center stage here at Stafford. Big smiles on the driver's face, but one of those drivers will be smiling from ear to ear with even a bigger smile than for the cameras right now. And not only will that driver smile, but that driver will have bragging rights and a wallet just a little bit bigger than that individual had upon arriving here tonight for this event. A couple of more quick picks, and the drivers will be heading to the right front wheel, and we will ask you to join us and make some noise, some real noise for your SK Modified drivers going, and there they go, heading back. Make some noise for these gentlemen now. Point standings going into this event. 18-point lead. Stephen Kopsick is the leader on top. Todd Owen sets in second. Tyler Hines, the only repeat winner, is third. Michael Christopher is fourth. Ronnie Williams, a former champion, is fifth. One of the all-time greats, Keith Rocco, sets in sixth. Chase Dowling, a two-time winner, sets in seventh in the points. Michael Jervis is eighth. Marcello Rafano is ninth. And David Arut rounds out the top 10 in our point standings going into tonight's event. Just waiting for the word from race control. And once we have it, we'll kick things off with our starting lineup for tonight's Napa Auto Parts. Remember, Napa know-how is more than a phase and more than a phrase. It's a way of life. Your local Napa Auto Parts store has the best. Ladies and gentlemen, join with me as we proudly present 23 of the best in out to see tonight's big events.
And Dad and Mom for Marcello are in Montanata, Italy. So
Yep.
that is an international fan base that he has, and they'll be seeing how well he can do tonight. He'll be starting on the outside of the front row.
And, of course, as we said before, a lot of the other teams. Phil Moran, the crew chief that has rode with Doug Colby to 6 championships on the NASCAR Wheel and Modify Tour. Longtime personal friend of the Kopsick family, is here tonight to help and cheer those folks on. Chase Dowling's dad, Mark Dowling, his mom, Micah, also come up from Charlotte, North Carolina, just to see the SKs here tonight and tomorrow as he'll go to run dirt at the Lebanon Valley Speedway.
So a couple of crew members are still paying attention to their drivers. Now I think there is only one crew member left. Very important that the drivers are comfortable because 100 laps and the green flag laps are the only ones that count. We do not count the yellow, so it means that it will be a very exciting race, and you will able to get the racing that you paid to see tonight.
You certainly are, and now we direct our attention trackside as we go to Dave Barabalt.
Well, first I'd like to introduce Dominic Greco to say a few words from Napa about tonight's race.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the race tonight at Stafford. Hope everybody's enjoying it. It's the greatest short track in all of New England, and we're really looking forward to this race here. So everybody, hope you enjoy your time. Thank you for coming out.
And now to give the command to send him loose, Jennifer Greco.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's nothing like it. The sound of mighty horsepower. A flick of the switch on the dash. The lights glisten in the lights here at Stafford. These are the SK Modifieds.
Well, Jennifer had a lot of enthusiasm.
She sure did. And they pull away from the starting grid. 2 by 2. Like gladiators about to go center stage. One individual and only one. It's more than bragging rights. They get the big bucks on the line tonight.
Yeah, $5,000 and a potential to win $450 more in contingency money. And some of these drivers are already winners, pocketing heat race money furnished by Wheeler's Auto. So the car in the Napa SK5K. He is a Hall of Fame voice of Stafford Motor Speedway, Ben Dodge.
Off turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen, the Napa SK5K is going green here at Stafford.
And on the outside, Marcello getting an early advantage over Leary. And Marcello shows that the outside is a way to go here in the first lap.
The pride of Italy runs at the front of the field. Out in front, 2, 3 car lanes. Now all of a sudden, Leary comes to life. Off turn number 4. Car number 1 is in second, but it is Michael Jervis Jr. also running on the outside. And there's Todd Owen. And right behind him, the 22 of Chase Dowling.
As Owen tormenting the back bumper of the Leary car. And now Leary takes control of second as they shuffle across the stripe. Mike Christopher trying to make a move, getting underneath Chase Dowling, but he's not quick enough to make it happen.
While that's happening, look just one spot ahead. It is Todd Owen who ducked out of line momentarily. Side-by-side race just out of the top 5. Dowling is at the point of that battle. Here comes Michael Christopher, and here comes Teddy Hodgson, along with Keith Rocco and Matt Vassar.
And a little deeper in the field, we see Andrew Moeller in car number 35. Now Christopher making a move against Dowling. Making a move for the lead. That is Refrano against Leary, and it looks like Leary is going to get there.
Meanwhile, Michael Christopher pulls to the bottom, back up front, bid for the lead. It is Refrano still in command. Leary hunts him down. Now look, here comes Todd Owen. Owen showing a lot of steam here tonight as Owen now moves into the 3rd spot.
And right there with him is Michael Jarvis in car number 33. Climbing his way into the lead was Refrano, so we got a good lift coming off of turn number 2. Mike Christopher Jr. is 5th, 1 spot ahead of Dowling. Then it is Moeller, followed by Hodgson.
While all that's been happening, Stephen Kopsick is being very patient. He's running strong in the Newtown Pools machine, car number 21. Dips to the inside of the Hummel's hot dog car. He picks up the spot. Stephen Kopsick is coming forward, car 21.
Now remember last year, Marcello Refrano led 81 laps of that race, did not win. Chase Dowling did. As Refrano said, his car got away from him instantly at the end of the race. He said that is not going to happen this year.
Fastest car on the racetrack, Marcello Refrano, 19.687, currently setting in the number 1 spot. Things are starting to get heated up at the bottom of the top 10. Meanwhile, back up front, Tyler Leary. He's really got his confidence up. Marcello Refrano doing a great job setting a blistering pace at the point. Further back, bottom of the top 10, they're side by side. Dylan Kopech with car 16 in the 13th spot, battling with Brian Narducci, and Keith Rocco is trying to come to the front.
One battle about to develop. The 21 of Stephen Kopech is 8th. The guy in front of him is Andrew Moeller, and Kopech trying to catch that number 35, and Moeller doing a pretty good job entertaining the back bumper of Chase Dowling.
They head down the back straightaway. It's a good battle, those 3 cars. Then it's another 2-car battle between Teddy Hodgson, and now it's Vassar in the Hummel's hot dog car to try to challenge there.
Well, vapor locked on the back bumper of the Refrano car is Tyler Leary.
Look at
one
Michael
of his
Christopher.
best moments in a modified.
Here comes Kopsick. What a good move. Takes it in at a ton. Down underneath Moeller, Stephen Kopsick is up to the 7th spot.
And at the same time that was happening, Mike Christopher was able to trampoline his way underneath the 82 of Michael Christopher. So Christopher is 1 spot ahead of Jarvis now. So Christopher in 4th, Jarvis in 5th. And the drum major of the parade is Marcello Refrano. And they are cheering all the way from here to Italy.
That's right. The pride of Italy is out in front. Marcello Refrano is the leader of the pack. Meanwhile, here comes Todd Owen. Owen is so hungry for this event.
Matt Vassar making a move, trying to get underneath Hodgson.
Christopher in the 4th spot, just clicked off a 19.508. Steven Kopsik went around Dowling to move into the 6th spot. Back up front, Todd Owen reeling in on Tyler Leary in that number 1 car. Top 4 cars, single file, Matt.
Well, Leary
And
can't
here
make
comes
a
Leary.
mistake.
He moves to the inside. Leary made it look so easy to take over the number 1 spot, and he does.
And Owen wanted to make the same move, but Marcello Refrano was able to close the door. Christopher in 4th, Jarvis in 5th. So we have a battle at the top
Here
of the
comes
pack.
Todd Owen. Owen slingshots down underneath the Marcello Refrano machine, and Owen is up to 2nd. Here comes Michael Christopher.
Boy, that Owen move was like soda out of a shaken can. Christopher trying to make an identical move, but doesn't have the firepower to get by Refrano.
Quick car on the racetrack, and moving forward is Michael Christopher. Down underneath the Marcello Refrano machine. Good battle right there. And
Mike
now
Christopher
Christopher,
Jr. able to wear him out.
yes he is, up to the 3rd position. Marcello Refrano on entry into turn number 3. He backs up just a bit, and that gives Michael Jervis the spot. Here comes Kopsik, 6th and challenging for 5th. Kopsik, watch the power in the 21 car.
Boy,
The
that was a
Newtown
lot of
Pools
power.
machine made it look so easy. Marcello Refrano's car apparently has developed some type of a problem. It is not as strong as it was earlier.
Now it is starting to backpedal, and now Dowling, the latest attacker in car number 22, as he is able to vapor trail his way underneath Refrano, and Dowling is moved up to 6th.
Dowling is a calculated driver, only comes on strong when you wave $100 bills in front of his face. So when the money's up for grabs, he'll go for the gusto.
2nd is up for grabs between Owen and Christopher. Mike Christopher almost was able to steamroll underneath him the last time, but the best battle on the track right now is between the 81 of Owen and the 82 of Christopher.
Good battle right there. Another great battle is further back as Moeller is starting to work over Marcello Refrano, and that is for the 7th and 8th position. 23 laps down in this Napa Auto Parts 100-lap SK5K.
There is a pretty good gap between Andrew Moeller in 8th and Matt Vassar, who is running 9th. Now Dowling has picked up the tempo. He is looking to get by Steven Kopsik, and in order to get by Kopsik, you have to have everything going for you.
Well, it appeared a few laps to go that Kopsik had the quickest car on the racetrack. On the last time by, Kopsik went a 781 and Dowling went a 731. Simply, it means that Kopsik's car is starting to back up a bit, and the cars behind him are starting to turn up the heat. But just as I say that, Kopsik clicks off a 466.
Speaking of heat, Andrew Moeller is trying to get underneath Refrano. That is a battle for 7th. So those two drivers handcuffed together. Now, if you're wondering, where is Ronnie Williams? As Ronnie Williams is far back at this stage of the race in 20th place.
Well, Ronnie Williams is back there. Keith Rocco is in 13th position. That's a little bit of a surprise as well. But is that part of their strategy? Tire management and all of those ingredients. Back up front, Leary is the leader. And not only is he a leader, he has a commanding lead over Todd Owen in 2nd.
Almost a second, 0.8 seconds, so 0.8 of a second for Leary. But things are a little closer, deeper in the pack as we check out the action involving Doug Meservey Jr. in the 67, as Meservey trying to pick up a spot against Keith Rocco. So Rocco getting a challenge from Meservey, and here he comes.
He certainly does. He is starting to turn up the game as he starts to close in just a bit. Now, Look it on the outside. Made it look easy, Matt, there. And is still going forward. Meanwhile, that's a pack of cars right there of 7, which Keith Rocco is leading over Meserve.
So almost at the 1/3 mark of this race, with Leary leading by 0.7 of a second over Todd Owen. So there is Owen in the picture, but he is trailing by about 2 furlongs to the number 1 car.
There's no question, as you watch the front pack of cars, Leary's. Last circuit by, Leary went a 7.47.
And now Pulio trying to make a move against Refrano. So Jonathan Pulio takes advantage of the weakness of Refrano, as Refrano was good for about the first 10 laps, but then things have gone south for him ever since.
The car that has made the most position moves forward is the 21 of Kopsik. He is up to 5th. He started 12th. He has moved up 7 positions in 33 laps.
And Pulio is trying to make a move against Refrano. Not happening. Now Rocco and, well, that is Leary in car number 1. And Owen has closed the gap. He is only down now by 0.2 of a second. So what a comeback for Owen.
Todd Owen moves to the inside. Leary guards the spot. Owen, 2 cars identically prepared, built by Chassis Pro, are trying to become the pro contenders. And Todd Owen becomes the brand new leader. The Cookers construction car is cooking tonight as it sets the pace out in front. Michael Christopher maintaining that 3rd position. Jervis in 4th. Kopsik for 5. Dowling for 6th. Moeller for 7th. Pulio for 8th. Good run there. Marcello Refrano for 9th. And a good run for Matt Vassar in 10th.
So Todd Owen becomes the 3rd leader in this race. Marcello Refrano and Tyler Leary were the other 2 leaders. And Owen looks strong. A little deeper in the pack, we see the 11 of Matt Vassar, and he has the advantage right now over Teddy Hodgson. A week ago, Matt Vassar finished on the podium for the first time in his Stafford career.
You know, another mover and a shaker in this event. Starting 15th is JP, Jonathan Pulio, with the number 7 car. He is up 9 positions, and he is now currently running in the 8th spot and moving forward. Car 7.
Now, Keith Rocco has been entrenched in 13th place for a while. Doug Meserve right behind him, and also involved in that battle is Dylan Kopech. Owen now expanding his lead. Making a move is Chase Dowling, and Dowling is able to get underneath Stephen Kopchik.
Stephen Kopsik's last time by, he went a 20.012. That is the slowest he has been. Mechanical woes might be the story on the Kopsik car. Dowling picked up the pace. He moved into 5th with an 8.11. How's that stack up to our leader? Todd Owen is a 19.797.
And about 0.8 of a second separate our top 2 heading into lap number 41.
And now Michael Christopher is closing in on Leary, Matt.
Boy, Michael Christopher has been in the top tier of the field all night long, as right behind him is Jarvis. Now, making a move, Mike Christopher, he tries to jackknife his way underneath Leary.
Nice move. He made it look so easy. Uncle Ted's watching from the heavens tonight, and Michael Christopher picks up yet another position.
Max Zackham on the sideline in car number 27 in the Sam Adams sponsored car. Michael Christopher, he has put a pretty good gap between he and Leary. Now we're looking at Kopchik trying to hold off the combination of Moeller and Pulio, and JP Lightning in 8th place, and he looks like he still has a lot of car left as we are approaching the halfway mark.
Yes, we are just 6 laps shy. Make it 5 when they come back to the line. And it's still Owen. There's that battle with Pulio, and there's your leader, Todd Owen. Barnes Pool Water, Cooker's Construction, Chassis Pro, Butch Shea, lifetime friend of Todd Owens. They build these race cars, and they are winning cars.
Now Refrano getting a challenge from Teddy Hodgson. That is a fight for 9th place.
That's been going on for several laps, Matt.
And what about this battle? As Leary has a challenge from Jarvis. That is a fight for the top 3.
Jarvis, another consistent driver. Dives to the inside of Leary. Going. Down the front straightaway. They're pretty much evenly matched. And now Michael Jarvis is up to the top 3. Leary's next threat will be pressure being applied by Chase Dowling. We'll look at the times there. Leary just won a 20.430, and Dowling won a 19.834. So Dowling is catching Leary, and it's happening very, very quick. And now all of a sudden, Kopsick's car is back in the 19-second bracket with a 19.499.
Maybe that car just took a siesta for a couple laps. Ronnie Williams, remember we told you he was in 20th a few laps ago. Now he is back to 16th.
Here's the halfway, and there's your leader. Halfway, Todd Owen over Mike Christopher. Michael Jarvis in 3rd. Tyler Leary for 4th. Chase Dowling for 5. Kopsick for 6th. Pulio for 7th. Moeller for 8th. Hodgson for 9th. And Marcello Refrano for 10th.
And Ronnie Williams, who is 16th, what do you think his strategy is, Ben? Hope that the front runners burn up their tires so he can make a bold move in the second half of the race. I think that's what he is counting on.
Tyler Hines is another one of those drivers, back in the 19th spot, but he's now starting to come to life. Round number 2. Everybody talked about pit strategy in the paddock, and they said ride out the first 50 and then race the second 50. Well, to look at these times, nobody has been riding, everybody has been racing.
To the left of your screen was Tyler Hines in car number 85. So he is still in the wilderness in Bear Grylls country in 18th place as he got by Daniel Wesson. And there is Owen. As you can see, there is nobody near him. He is in solitary confinement at the front of the field.
Purple, white, and neon numerals car. Todd Owen, the man that doesn't know the meaning of not working hard, with a passion for auto racing like most people would dream about.
David Aru having a battle with Mikey Flynn, and Flynn gets the upper hand there as that was a fight for 20th.
David Aru had a great run last Friday night, kind of got the monkey off his back.
Now he is after Kopech in the number 16 car. And up at the front, now trying to get by slower traffic is Todd Owen as he will roar by Vians on the outside.
Pretty much things are starting to settle in just a bit as they work their magic, coming up through traffic just a bit. And now Chase Dowling is closing in on Michael Jarvis Jr. Let's take a look at those times. Jarvis won a 19.848 and Dowling won a 19.726.
And it looks like David Arut is on the verge of getting by Kopech, as that is a fight for the top 15 up at the front. There is Arut. Now Hines comes out of nowhere to get by Kopech.
We said before, it appears that Hines might have been saving a little bit, Matt, because now we are on lap number 60 when they come back to the line, and he is starting to show that he is moving up through the food chain.
Ronnie Williams has moved up 2 spots to 14th.
Keith Rocco is in 13th. Narducci is in 12th. Vassar is in 11th. And the strongest battle on the racetrack for position here seems to be, and now Chase Dowling has moved in to the 3rd spot.
Now Mike Christopher has gained ground on Owen. Owen had a big lead a moment ago, but now that lead has been reduced to 0.2 of a second. Mike Christopher is definitely coming on strongly.
Fastest car in the top 5 now becomes the 22. Second fastest car is now the leader, Todd Owen.
And Mike Christopher, he has to be among the top 5 fastest because he is giving Owen a hard time. And speaking of hard time, a good move by Tyler Hines to get by Meservey. And we told you that he is on an upswing. Tyler Hines is now 16th.
As Hines continues to go forward, Keith Rocco and Ronnie Williams are kind of stuck in a holding pattern in that 12th through 14th position. Back up front, fastest car in the top 5. It looks like through timing and scoring, Michael Christopher just moved into the number 1 spot with a 683. Then Owen is second quickest with a 735 over Dowling with a 772.
Move for the lead. Mike Christopher on the inside in a blur. New leader, Mike Christopher, the 4th leader of the event as he wrestles the lead away from Todd Owen.
Todd Owen settles back in for second, and now the Rabbit, chased by the Dogs, becomes Michael Christopher with car number 82. Owen backs up 1, and we'll now look at the times and see Kopsick has moved back into the top 5. And what about Jonathan Pulio? All positives for Pulio.
And Brian
into the 6th spot.
Narducci making a move against Refrano. So Brian Narducci has moved into the top 10 in the Florida Connection car.
While that's happening, Keith Rocco is moving forward. He moves up to the 12th spot. Marcello Refrano holding in the 11th position. 68, now complete of 100.
Ronnie Williams starting to move as he is able to pick up a position. And Ronnie Williams is now in 13th as he got by Vassar.
13th position, and Williams is now starting to climb the charts. Tyler Hines doing the same thing.
Well, he's got 30 laps in which to do it, so that will be enough time if he has a healthy car and good tires. And there is nobody healthier than Mike Christopher Jr. right now as he is trying to put Doug Meservey a lap down.
And all of a sudden,
look at Rocco come
yes,
to life.
Rocco. And he's bringing some pretty good company with him, Matt. Right behind Keith Rocco is Ronnie Williams.
Yeah, this is a 2-man tag team that'll try to bob and weave its way through the field as Rocco will lead the way, and grabbing onto his shirt tail will be Ronnie Williams.
Now, if their strategy is correct, Rocco and Williams will be starting to move forward because we are less than 30 laps to go.
During most of his Stafford wins, Rocco was the attacker, the aggressor. He used to say, I don't do patient well. But he's been very patient tonight, and he and Williams have hooked up a 2-man torpedo trying to blast its way through the field.
And they have become the dynamic duo of the mid-pack group of cars.
They're the dynamic duo, and both of them want to be Batman.
You've got that right. And they continue to move forward. Their next target will be Brian Narducci, and once the early leader, Tyler Leary. Those are the 9th and 10th place cars.
Up at the front, Mike Christopher. He is in a picnic of leading Todd Owen. We'll see what the advantage is 1.6. So Mike Christopher has a pretty hefty lead at this stage of the race.
Dowling still setting in a strong third. And then Michael Jervis is in fourth. Kopsick, who is in the fifth spot. Pulio, sixth position. Moeller is seventh, and Hodgson is eighth. They've been seventh and eighth through most of the event. Now, Williams goes around, slower car.
Well, that was Tyler Leary. And Williams is now 11th. Keith Rocco has finally moved into the top 10. And it took 75 laps for that to happen.
It still remains Michael Christopher Jr. When the money has been on the line this season, Christopher has been a big factor. And tonight might be no exception to that saying.
Yeah, he won the Tick Mike All-Star race, which was for pretty good cash. And tonight he has been the dominant factor. Andrew Moeller and Teddy Hodgson having a pretty good battle. That is for seventh. And Moeller coming off his win in the late model.
78 laps now complete of this 100-lap event.
And Mike Christopher, he will be approaching some slower traffic. That is Dylan Kopech directly in front of him. So we'll see how much room that Dylan gives him. Usually there is plenty of courtesy extended to the leader.
Keith Rocco has moved now into the top 10 for the first time tonight, and Ronnie Williams is one out of the top 10 in 11th.
And the stabilizing force at the front of the field is Mike Christopher, as he is on his own island, leading Todd Owen by 2.4 seconds. Mike Christopher is radioactive. Nobody can get near him.
Interestingly enough, as you look at timing and scoring, last time by, Michael Christopher was a 19.844. Todd Owen was a 19.923, but Chase Dowling was a 19.765, and Jervis was a 19.897.
And Chase Dowling is 2.5 seconds off the pace, as you can see that. He is in the hip pocket of the 81 of Todd Owen. That is a battle for second. Dowling coming on strong, so Chase Dowling trying to move past Owen and get into second. Remember, Chase is a defending champion.
He would be, if he's able to get to the front, the first three-time winner of this event. Now he moves to the inside of Todd Owen. Once he's there, he makes it look so easy. And now Chase Dowling is in position number 2, and there are 16 laps for him to chase down Michael Christopher.
And we'll see if he is capable of doing that under green flag conditions.
He is quicker in timing and scoring than the leader.
And is Mike Christopher going as fast as he can go, or just trying to save something in case he needs it for a double file restart at the end? Only two people know the answer to that, Mike Christopher Jr. and Mike Christopher Sr.
Meanwhile, Rocco is still back in that 10th position. Ronnie Williams is still in 11th. Kopsick has moved up to the 5th spot. Pulio turning some heads here today in the 6th position, with Andrew Moeller in the 7th spot.
You know, for him to be in 6th against this caliber of competition is tough. So let's see what the lead is for Mike Christopher. 2.6. So it stayed the same for about the last 3 or 4 laps against Dowling.
He is still quicker on the clock. Meanwhile, heavy traffic in front of the Dowling car.
Keith Rocco in 10th. He has been 10th for the last 13 laps.
And Ronnie Williams has been 11th for those 13th laps as well.
So they have not picked up any ground as we had anticipated. And there is Mike Christopher Jr. as he is leading by about the length of Long Island Sound over Chase Dowling. Todd Owen having one of his best runs of the season in 3rd.
This time, when they come back to the stripe, 10 laps to go. the final 10 circuits. Caution free so far as Michael Christopher in command.
Boy, two recent high school graduates are having a war out there. Jonathan Puleo and
Caution.
Moeller, and the first caution comes out.
Leary spins car number 1X, the early leader, underneath the Flow Racing billboard, coming off turn number 2. So Tyler Leary, who had an incredible run in the opening laps of the event. Now Vassar is down on pit road. Let's go quickly down on pit road to see if our pit reporters have more.
Yeah, Matt Vassar brings in the number 11 car. Looks like they're jacking up the right-hand side. A little bit of a adjustment there as they switch around tires here, try to get Matt a little bit more grip out here in the Speedway. The 68 car, Marcello Refrano, around the lap 11, hit the backstretch wall. He's been begging for a caution flag pretty much this whole race. We're going to see if he comes down. We got Tyler Leary, the driver that spun out here just a little bit ago there on he's gone pit road, getting the check out there. Let's go up to Dave Barabo.
We're checking on the number 31 of Noah Corner. They're able to make some changes on that. Also up the 38 machine, and they're working on the rear end of that. I talked to Max Zackham, who dropped out earlier in the race. They said motor issues on the 27. They just brought it back in before they did further damage to the power plant.
They just cannot get a break at all, Dave Barabalt, it seems like. But this is going to tighten things up. 10 circuits to go. And there is no... And we've just been told that the 16 is the lucky dog.
So Dylan Kopech will pick up a lap.
And now we're going to see what Mike Christopher chooses as the option, outside or inside. Dowling's going to be with him. Now we're looking at the times. Before they went to yellow, Michael Christopher turned to 19.668. On the same lap, Chase Dowling turned a 19.833.
Now remember earlier this year, Keith Rocco picked the inside against Tyler Hines, and Tyler Hines was able to beat him on the outside, and Rocco said that was a mistake. He should have picked the outside, but he underestimated Hines. One thing about Mike Christopher, he is not going to underestimate Chase Dowling.
Now, let's take a look at this map. Michael Christopher started 5th. He's your leader. The 22 of Dowling started in the 8th spot, so he picked up 6 positions. Todd Owen with the 81 car started 6th, and he has picked up 3 positions. Michael Jervis, the 33, started 4th. He's still 4th. Stephen Kopsick with the 21 started 12th and picked up 7 positions.
So Mike Christopher is elected to restart on the inside. Let's see if that strategy works as they come up to speed.
Christopher and Dowling, 2 of the top drivers in the SKs. Now,
and Owen on the attack.
Inside lane, Kopsick comes back to life. Dowling takes it in deep. Todd Owen, wheel to wheel and side by side. Todd Owen is dancing with his partner, and that's Dowling, and Kopsick gave him a little bump to the back bumper. Here comes Stephen Kopsick. The countdown continues. Dowling continues to dig hard on the outside lane. Here comes Kopsick. Newtown Pool.
Almost 2 for the price of 1. He got by Dowling. Now
Double
he's trying
dip.
to get by Owen. Can he go from 4th to 2nd in 1 lap? It looks like he is on the verge of doing that.
And while he tries to make the move, his buddy Dowling tries to follow him through. Todd Owen continues on the outside. Then look behind them. Doubled up is Andrew Moeller. And now Dowling and Owen are side by side for the 3rd spot. And guess what? Ronnie Williams is come to life as now Dowling moves into the 3rd spot.
Ronnie Williams in the top 4. So let's see if he can seal the deal. It is Christopher pulling away from Kopchick. The lead at the line.
Oh, look at Kopsik. He has got a racy car.
And Kopchik saved it for the end, so his strategy was pretty good.
Kopsik just won a 4-1-3 map. The leader went a 6-6-7.
And the lead is dwindling. So what was as big as a sequoia tree has now turned into a toothpick. Here comes Kopchik down low and a bid for the lead.
Stephen Kopsik might have pulled off the most impressive strategy of them all. The Newtown Pools machine just jumped off. Trouble now. We've got a caution. Oh, we've got a melee down in turns 1 and 2. And what a heartbreaker for Pulio, who is turning in a solid run. And the same can be said about Teddy Hodgson. Looks like Meserve is there. And
Refrano was on the opposite
and there
end
is
of
the
side of
Daniel
the
Wesson
track.
car with the left front wheel plate headed literally wrong on the racetrack. And yes, we were right. There is the Pulio machine. What a great run this young man was turning in. He was up as far as 5th at one point with that number 7 car. And Teddy Hodgson and Pulio ran together through the majority of the laps of this event. 4 laps remaining.
While Stephen
Now
Kopchik,
look at, here is Christopher making a bid for the lead, and while that was happening, and
wow, there was a lot of hitting after the whistle
and we're
that
not,
time.
is that Marcello Refrano? Yes, very dejectedly, Marcello Refrano takes that long walk back down on pit road. What a heartbreaker for the Spirit of Italy. Marcello Refrano, remember a year ago, 81 laps, and then
Well, he led some tonight.
yes,
We've
he
had
did
5
a good
leaders,
job. He's a very talented young man.
as it was Tyler Leary, Marcello Refrano, Todd Owen, Mike Christopher, and now with 4 laps to go, it's Stephen Kopchik, as he was a 5th place car for most of the race.
Yep.
And because we did not finish a lap, Ben, you look at our scoreboard, Mike Christopher still has the lead.
That is correct.
With Kopchik in 2nd. So
and
Kopchik
now,
will only have 4 laps to try to get his lead back. And Mike Christopher has always been strong on restarts.
now our pit road reporters, they're going to be checking in on things as well with us. And hopefully they have the opportunity to check in with either Michael Christopher, Stephen Kopsik, or Chase Dowling, any of their crew chiefs, on what their strategy might be. Because Matt always points it out that sometimes 3rd is good.
Yeah, especially if the guy in front gets a big jump, you can follow him and maybe get by the 2nd place guy who is on your outside. So Mike Christopher gets a 2nd opportunity. He gets his lead back because of the caution flag.
Now, Ronnie Williams picked up 12 spots from his original starting spot. Kopsik picked up 10 positions. And now they're just trying to keep some heat in those tires, keep them flat and smooth.
I think, Ben, in a game, let's go to pit road.
Yeah, quickly, Jonathan Pulio's out of the race. The Mr. Rooter machine goes behind the wall.
Here we go. 4 circuits, 2 miles.
And who has saved their tires the most? Is it Christopher, Kopchik, or somebody else? We're about to learn the answer.
Good start. And Stephen Kopsik working over Michael Christopher. Down the back straightaway. Owens come back to life. Dowling isn't done yet. Side by side, 2 black automobiles. And this time, Stephen Kopsik took the lead, but it's short-lived.
2 drivers body pierce to each other. Now Kopchik with a little bit of advantage. Christopher fights back. They head into turn number 4. It is Christopher by a molecule as they hit the line.
Stephen Kopsik isn't giving up. 98 up on the board. Kopsik changes his line. changes his pattern. Michael Christopher gets away. And now Dowling is closing up the gap. 3 cars. White flag is out. Final circuit. Down into turn number 1. Michael Christopher. Stephen Kopsick. Smooch to the back bumper. To the outside. Here comes Kopsick. Christopher guards the inside lane. Off the turn. Here comes Dowling. Checkered flag is out. Michael Christopher has done it. Stephen Kopsick in for.
Here, the confetti is flying, $5,000 richer with the SK 5K. Mike, what a race, man. What a piece of driving tonight. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. That long run that we had, the car was really getting good. And then we had that restart, and I'm like, yeah, of course we're gonna, but, you know, give it out to my crew for giving me a great car, and honestly, give it out to Steven as well, because we were racing pretty damn hard there, and it could have gotten more and more brutal, but, you know, it was a good race, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you bid your time there in the beginning of the race. You kind of took your time to get to the lead there. Once you did, though, man, it was off to the races, and the 82 is awful tough. What a race to win.
Yeah, it's we've been doing this for a while since I've been, you know, started in 2015, and, you know, saw all the great people winning it. You know, it really comes down to a good car. I think at the end, Steven had a better car, but I don't know. It's just that's part of short track racing.
Yeah, like I said, man, a skillful drive tonight by Mike Christopher Jr. How about some sponsors on this ride?
First of all, my whole crew, my dad, Sean Waddell, Eastport Feeds, New England Turf Management, Connecticut Trailers, PT Watts. I'd like to thank Moroso, Sign Pro, like I said, Sean Waddell, Eagle Fencing Guardrail, M&T Heavy Equipment, oh man, VP Racing Lubricants, QA1, BMRS. There's so many people that help us out that get us to this point, and I'm really glad that we've won not only the SK 5K tonight, but the All-Star race. So we're racking in some money.
Yeah, man, he's doing a great job this year here at Stafford. Goes to victory lane once again in the big Napa SK 5K. Congratulations to Mike Christopher Jr. Let's talk to our second place finisher.
And I've caught up with Steven Kopchik. And Steven, it looked like you had a rocket going late in the race, had the lead. The restart on the outside. Did something happen to the 21?
No, nothing happened. We were really good. Nothing to be ashamed about. We were kind of saving our stuff, per se, if there is such a thing, earlier, hoping for that caution. It didn't look like we were going to get it, but we got it. And I think we definitely had a car to win. And, Mikey did too. But I think we definitely might have had a little better car than him, but he had the spot when it mattered, and he drove a good race. So congrats to him. And that's it. I just got to thank everyone that helps me make this happen. John Kerrigan and Newtown Pools and Air Gas, JB Management, my father, my mom. So just thank you to all those guys.
He certainly put on a show. Coming home second, Steven Kopchik. John Gates has our third place finisher.
Yeah, we got Chase Dowling. Actually, he's congratulating our winner, Mike Christopher Jr. Chase driving that number 22 car tonight. Chase, man, good run. You came on strong there towards the end and got a third place finish. Can't be too upset about that.
Yeah, we rebounded as a team pretty good. That race was definitely a lot different than a lot of 5Ks, obviously, as we all know. Pretty good run in the beginning. We kind of stayed around 7th, 8th, 6th, and I was like, this is going to go green for a while. So obviously it did, and lappers tangle as they would, and caution comes out. So pretty happy at the end. I thought we were going to have a good shot for Mikey, like when we were green flag running. I kind of messed up as a driver myself. I should have kept heat in the right front a little better, or did something a little different. I wish I could go back a little bit, but drove through the grass at the end just to make it turn a little bit more, just to be there at the end. But overall, it was a great race for our team.
Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Dan Avery, Star Finish Motorsports, Pettit for the Power, JG Poole, and Kerrigan. There's so many people on that car, but obviously a great rebound for our team after struggling for a little bit.
Chase Dowling, he goes third tonight. Good luck tomorrow night at the Lebanon Valley Speedway. Let's go back up to the tower.
Well, what an incredible night it was. And, of course, the Napa SK 5K had all the twists and turns of any good story when it comes to SK Modified Racing. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation for this evening's program, and we refer to ourselves as Team Stafford. But more important than all of that, we are a proud part of the Arute family. On behalf of the entire Arute